Hi YouTubers, it's with us, something important, so it's going to breakfast right now. So today's breakfast is like a big ass cigar, obviously not perfect to over the last damn time because of bullshit. So bullshit is bullshit, we don't know the bullshit is bullshit. Yep, we all know the fucking bullshit is fucking bullshit. So I'm not talking that kind of shit, you know, as in BS is BS. So anyway, just being silly ass like the big ass cigar. So anyway, we're talking right now, how common is snuff taking these days, you know, fucking snuff taking. And the answer is, it is very fucking rare these days that people actually take fucking snuff. So snuff, referring to dry powdered tobacco, you sniff up your nose, almost unheard of these days. Now, 300, 400 years ago, it was a culture in of itself. I mean, it was a fucking culture in of itself. But nowadays is virtually unheard of, especially in the United States of America, for people to do this shit, you know, as in bullshit is bullshit, you know. Most people who use snuff these days in the United States, in Canada, probably about 95% of them use dip or moist snuff. People use, you know, Copenhagen or Skoal or Grizzly or Timberwolf or, you know, Kayak or Hawkins, basically moist snuff. Also, some people call it chew. It's really not fucking chew, but some people call it, you know, chew. Basically, you know, you take a pinch and you put it between your cheek and your gum, and you know, you put it in your lower lip. Most commonly, your lower lip. I mean, some people put dip between their cheek and their gum, but most people put in their lower lip, and that's how people use, you know, dip. Now, most people these days do not sniff tobacco. It is very fucking uncommon. I mean, 300 years ago in colonial days, it was a culture in itself. It was a huge thing back in the 1700s, the 1600s, and still in the UK and some countries in Europe, it's still used these days. I mean, some countries, it's still somewhat popular to some degree, because keep in mind, the European Union, you're not allowed to sell moist snuff or chewing tobacco because of the ban that was put in place in the early 90s, which I personally think is fucking bullshit. So I think people should be able to use whatever tobacco products they want. I think that's total fucking bullshit, you know, but that's the rule. I mean, we all know that bullshit can be bullshit, you know, but basically, because they can't sell chew or dip, or most countries can't sell snus in the UK or the European Union, the EU, people use dry snuff or powdered snuff in the UK, France, you know, Germany, you know, Denmark, Netherlands, you know, Belgium, etc., so, or Spain, and it's very common, you know, you can find it in most European tobacco stores, but here in the United States, where it's, you know, land of the free, home of the brave, you know, that kind of fucking bullshit, you know, yeah, so you can, you know, most people use dip, you know, moist snuff, you know, people call it chew or chaw or dip or, you know, spit tobacco, all that kind of shit, you know, that fucking bullshit. So, and it's just, you know, the way things are nowadays. The reason people don't use, you know, powder dry snuff these days is for a myriad of reasons. I mean, part of it is, yeah, when you're out in public and you're, you know, sniffing up your nose these days, yeah, it looks pretty damn suspicious. I mean, pretty fucking suspicious. So you want to be damn careful. I mean, if you do it, I would do it in the privacy of your own home, not out in public, because, yeah, it looks like you're doing something else, quote unquote, something else. And yeah, you don't want to be, you know, sniffing stuff up your nose, even if it's just tobacco, and out in public, because it looks like you're doing a illegal substance. So that kind of fucking bullshit. So you can get a lot of bullshit that way, as in bullshit is bullshit, you know. But basically, yeah, snuff taking these days is virtually unheard of. I mean, occasionally you'll hear of, like, you know, people on YouTube, nice big ass YouTube, like the big ass cigar, you know, people will do like nasal snuff, but that's kind of like a connoisseur, or like, you know, a, you know, purveyor, you know, of like tobacco thing. You know, people who are real, you know, purveyors or connoisseurs of tobacco, or people who own tobacco shops, yeah, people might, you know, I mean, most people know what it is, because people have read, like, you know, Charles Dickens, you know, fucking Charles Dickens, or like, you know, the old, you know, colonial books with people, you know, taking the powder dry tobacco and sniffing up their nose, you know, French royalty, that kind of shit, you know, and bullshit, you know, but most people, I would say probably 99% of people these days don't actually fucking do snuff. They don't actually fucking, you know, sniff up their nose. You know, they might have, you know, seen people, or they might, you get the point. So it's not something people do these days. It just has really died out. I mean, unfortunately, It's unfortunate because nasal snuff is probably by far, in terms of health risk, I'm not a fucking doctor, but it's probably in terms of health risk, probably the least risky form of tobacco. So it's sad in some ways it has died out. It's really lost its popularity to cigarettes and other tobacco products because, health-wise, yeah, there'd be a lot of, health benefits if everyone switched over to nasal snuff because it carries significant less risk to your health. I'm getting off topic here, but you get the fucking point. So, but unfortunately, it's just not common these days. People just simply don't do snuff these days. In the European Union, the UK, in that area. Yeah, to a certain degree, but not like they did, 300 years ago, that kind of shit, as in bullshit is bullshit. So, anyway, I rambled on long enough. You get the point. So, snuff taking has just died out. It's just a culture that has just ended. It's a fad or a consistency that's just ended these days. Anyway, it's fucking sad, but you get the point. So, bye. Pretty fucking cool.